doing?
All right, how you doing?
Okay, we're gonna do Thanksgiving today, and then we're gonna have an interview. How's that sound?
Cool.
Okay, I'm here on Thanksgiving Day with Shawn and Melissa. This is Melissa, and this is Shawn.
Hi there.
And we're at a place called Norm's. So Melissa, tell me a little bit about your current situation. Where are you sleeping?
Right now, I'm sleeping on the street, underneath an awning, or next to stores, outside in the cold, just waiting for Section 8 so we can get an apartment and get off this street.
How long have you been waiting for Section 8?
Couple of years. And I had to reapply. Now I've been waiting a little bit more, couple of years total.
And where you're living now, how are you being treated by the police and your others around you?
We're being treated like jerks. Being pushed around.
A bit strong, but okay. Well, unfortunately, see, I've noticed that there's a moat that exists between what I call the norms and the homeless. And somehow or another, we're not on either side of said moat. And we're kind of swimming around in the middle of it because we don't have a house or a whole lot of money, so the people that live in the neighborhood aren't really buddy-buddy with us that much. And since we don't drink, do drugs, or aren't trying to ruin our lives one way or another, we don't really fit in with the other homeless people.
So let's talk a little bit about other homeless people. You were talking about blankets that you gave away?
Yeah, we had about 7 blankets that we always packed in this green bag, so I managed to get into a bag. And people like walk around laying down, no blanket. Me and Shawn look at each other. Alright. This is because, we're Christians. We grabbed one of the blankets, covered up into one person. Then we lay back down. Now we're down to 6 blankets. And then someone else comes up. Hey, you got a blanket? Yes, hold on. We pull another blanket off, hand it to him. Thank you. They go, God bless you, you're welcome, no problem. It's from God. And another person was laying down and not covered up, shaking. We look at each other, here to grab a blanket, walk up, cover the guy up. And now we're down to like 5 blankets. And mind you, one of these blankets isn't really a blanket, it's an egg crate we lay on. And another one's a quilt we lay on top of the egg crate. And
why don't you have a tent? Why are you sleeping on egg
Because
crates?
you can get a ticket for using tents out there for camping. So you're not allowed to use...
How much?
It's a $500 camping ticket, and not only can you get it for sleeping under a tent, but a lot of people who sleep in their cars, that's why they have to move it to a lot of different places, because if the police find them doing that, they'll receive a $500 ticket for camping, and if they don't pay the ticket, they can get their vehicle taken away or impounded.
Yep.
Excuse me, you said you know some people who live in their car with babies?
Yes.
Were they fined?
Yeah, we got two tickets for $500 in the same week.
Oh my goodness. So did they get their car confiscated?
No, not yet, but if they don't pay off that ticket, they could get confiscated, or if they get a really mean police officer and instead of writing a ticket, they can call and have a car towed away.
So I'm going to ask you a tough question.
Okay.
How come you don't have a job? You look like a pretty strong guy. Why aren't you out working?
Nobody's hiring. I've tried to find work everywhere. The saddest part is, one of the places I applied to, the guy started laughing hysterically. I said, "What's so funny?" He's like, "Man, not only are we not hiring, we got to let about 5 or 6 guys go next week." I was like, "Man, that's rough." He's like, "Yeah, but that's just the way things are right now. I mean, nobody's really adding on to their workforce. Most places are barely keeping their heads above water and keeping the wolf off their own back door."
What about you, Melissa? How come you don't have a job?
Because I'm disabled. I try to work. I try to volunteer to help. People look at me, you're handicapped. I don't want a lawsuit.
We prefer the term handy capable.
I'm just want to help. Yeah, right. Bye-bye. Like, okay.
And what's your disability? Tell us about
I
it.
have neurofibromatosis, which is also known as NF, also known as alpha-man disease, tumors all over the body, inside and out, which can cause me to go fully paralyzed, partial paralyzed, and just have to wait on time. But by the grace of God, I'm not paralyzed yet, but I am having comfortabilities walking. And I'm not strong, I'm weak. But I just thank God I'm able to walk a little. I'm able to move my arms, my hands, my feet. So it's a blessing. And I can go blind from it. But I'm just praying to God I don't go blind from it. I'm only partially blind in my right eye. But, I just gotta thank God for what I have.
Same here. I mean, even though I'm not able to work a full-time 9-to-5 job, I'm able to find like work-a-day jobs and help out people here and there, doing whatever they have available. And I'm really grateful and thankful for those, because I mean, those are days where we don't have to panhandle. Those are days when we are able to eat, and even on a rare occasion, when we save up enough, we're able to get a room for the night so we can shower, change, and be able to sleep comfortably. Because while we do rest outside, you can't really sleep too heavily because you have to worry about all the other things that exist out on the street.
Melissa's going to tell me a little bit about the church, the Elohim Church, where she's going and helping with the youth group.
On every Friday, we go to a youth group church, and we give word encouragement to the youth. And basically, they were having a revival to celebrate their church, and they help out and they give word of encouragement, and they ask myself and Shawn for words of encouragement and our advice.
We offer them, as Melissa said, advice, encouragement, and also offer them whatever spiritual counsel we can give them. I mean, it's not a whole lot, but whatever we can give, we offer to them, and they seem to be very grateful for it.
Right. I remember you came to our church and spoke to the children. Do you remember what you talked about?
Yeah, the homeless.
Yep.
And what the homeless, and how they're not all bad, and that we all can help no matter what position we're in. Basically, just a cheerful hello can make anybody feel well, and what little we have by sharing makes them feel happy as well.
Great. And you talked about Job, I remember. Do you remember that part of it?
Yeah, we compared, well, not just our struggles, but the struggles that anybody really goes through, to actually gain encouragement from the book of Job. Because, I mean, Job went through some of the most horrible tragedies that a person could experience, and even though people that he knew were telling him that perhaps he had done something wrong to deserve this, he remained faithful, and the latter part of his life was more blessed than the first part of his life was. So you know that no matter how bad things seem to be at any one particular time, they can always get better.
I hope that's true of you too.
I believe it is.
Good. How was the Thanksgiving dinner?
Wonderful.
Great. Steph.
I'd have to
I
give
haven't
that.
said that in a while.
I'd have to give that 5 for 5.